Akinwumi Lewis joins us. He's the Registrar of the Lagos State University. Good morning and welcome. You couldn't make it the last time.
Yeah, I'm very sorry. I need to apologize.
But you watched the unions who were on the program on that day?
I did.
Okay, just to refresh the memories and minds of those who are just joining us, let's take a look at some snippets of what occurred on that day.
It's unfortunate that we're here again to talk about another issue. The last time we were here, it was about school fees. Currently, there are some issues between the university administration and the workforce. We spilled over from the last struggle. Issues such as victimization issues, arrears of salary arrears that have been outstanding since about 2010, issues of promotion with members of staff, issues of the inability of the vice chancellor to run the university properly, inability to generate income for the university, dependence on government all the time, and so many other issues. But we've been talking, and we had thought that in the course of discussions, when we agree on certain issues and document the agreements, they will be followed. But that's not what we're facing currently. And the last time we went on a struggle, it was resolved. And when it was resolved, we had some agreements, but the agreements were not implemented by the university administration. And what do we see after that? Union leaders were picked up, and the victimization process started. And we felt that should not happen in a university environment.
We have some issues with the management. I'm proud to this time, we wrote the management, we took the decision at the Congress on the 13th of February, and we gave an ultimatum to the management as concerning issues like promotion, arrears, as it had been mentioned by the ASUU chairman, casualization, wrong appointments, contract staff being used over the career staff, and eventually we discussed some of these things, but some of them were not resolved until the ultimatum expired. After the expiration of the ultimatum, people started agitation on the 16th of March, and that has led us to where we are now. When we started the agitation on the 16th, we were invited by the state government on the 17th, which happened to be Tuesday. We went for the meeting. We stated all our demands. We were told that they will report back to the governor. After reporting to the governor, then we'll be invited back for another meeting. That IV never come until this morning as I'm talking to you.
We have been on this issue for over 2 years, and there has been agitation before the management of the university. But rather than addressing issues the way it were, we have a management that is so recalcitrant and is not ready to, to treat the workers as humans. It's not whereby you have a management that believes that it can run the university the way it likes without following the laid down procedure in the running of the university. How do we describe the scenario whereby you, as a head of a university, you appoint a junior officer to coordinate affairs over senior colleagues? For instance, the issue of our health center. We have medical doctors, about 3 medical doctors on Conwas 13, and we have someone on Conwas 11. You now ask somebody who is on 11 to coordinate the center, where we have ahead of the 3 other senior colleagues. Is that not aberration?
ASUU, NASU, SANU, 3 unions there from your school, all on the same page saying all is not well with the school management.
Thank you very much. To say all is well, we'll be deceiving ourselves. But there's no human society that does not have its ups and downs. And I believe that as humans, being created in God's image and after His likeness, and having been imbued with wisdom and understanding, when issues of this nature arise, the very first thing we need to do is, how do we go about resolving them? Be that as it may, they made a reference to a meeting for last Wednesday. That meeting actually took place, it was a marathon meeting for 9 hours. And I believe that we reached a lot of agreements and understanding. So there were concessions made by both parties, and ultimately, I believe that arising from that meeting, a communique will soon be issued, signed by all the parties involved, and life can move on generally. But I want to say one or two things with regards to the accusations and counter-accusations. The university system runs on a committee system. And its universality is such that whether one likes it or not, though the buck stops at the desk of the Vice Chancellor, who is seen as the CEO, but every other segment of the university contributes one way or the other. If you're talking about promotions, there are statutory bodies. For the academic staff, we have appointments and promotions academics, made up of deans, made up of representatives of congregation, made up of some directors, as it were. And what each and every one of them is supposed to bring to the table when issues of promotions, staff welfare is being discussed, is for them to contribute. So the Vice Chancellor is a primus inter pares, first among equals. He is not by law expected to overrule anybody. So it is the aggregation of discussions, superior argument that eventually holds sway at the end of the day before a decision is arrived at. So to start saying that the Vice Chancellor has been going about, executive fiat, doing whatever he likes, I believe is a misnomer. But like I said, I think we've passed that stage now because we met on a Wednesday and we told ourselves the bitter truth with regards to how a normal, proper university should run.
That's the same that they were here on the program.
Yes.
Tell us the outcome of the 9-hour stretch.
It was refreshing, it was mind-boggling, and I'll also say it brought to the fore that rather than having to go to war without considering the consequences, both the attendant and the unforeseen consequences, it was better that we exhaust every form of opportunity available to us in resolving matters. And I want to look at those issues that they talked about. It could actually segmentalize them to two. Some are purely administrative things that should not have been brought before public view. Some are fundamentals that border on the law of the land. And until those laws are amended, take for instance, staff, employees, passing a vote of no confidence on another employee and demanding that the powers that be should remove that employee. No, there are rules and regulations. If someone has been found wanting, it is expected that you catalog, you petition, and you back all these things up with documentary evidence. You pass it on to the appropriate quarters, who may decide to set up a committee to investigate. And it is the report of that committee that will form the basis of removal or otherwise of the person everybody's going. But like I said, I think we've passed through that. Now we've crossed the Rubicon, and I do not expect any parties to that crisis to renege.
Are you also, denying the fact that some people were victimized?
Nobody was ever victimized. And I want to say, and I have to be very careful here, and the reason is that I would not want a situation where what we've all agreed to on Wednesday will appear that one party is insincere. But for records, nobody was ever victimized. If at all, certain things happened. Some people were caught in the process. And I wouldn't want to mention names because one particular case is already before the court of competent jurisdiction. So if we discuss it, it becomes sub judice. In the case of a withdrawn PhD, it was not a withdrawn PhD. You were talking about 19 PhD graduates. Somebody made a claim that what she actually enrolled for and graduated in was not what she was given. And it set Senate working that if someone can complain, it could mean that some other people who had been awarded PhD degrees might have inadvertently but given wrong nomenclatures, because when the program was even being approved by Senate in 2004, 3 distinct programs were approved in Business Administration Department. That is Business Administration, PhD, Management, PhD, and International Business. When it was investigated, for those who had issues with the nomenclature with which they were graduated, and it was very minor, we resolved those ones. And we have 2 left. Incidentally enough, the chairman of ASU, Comrade Adekunle Idris, happens to fall into the serious error category. And there were 2. Another Mr. Muftal. And what happened? You graduated and they gave you marketing. Marketing does not exist. If you ask NUC, the programs that has been approved for Lagos State University at undergraduate levels, yes, there is marketing. Postgraduate level, we don't run marketing.
Did he award that to himself?
He never did.
So it was given to him by your school?
It was given to him by Lagos State University.
Why put the fault
By the
before him?
Senate of Lagos State University, where the fault arises with regards to him. Was that what he studied for? Was that what he was admitted for? And this is, by the way, an investigation panel was set up to look at it with a view to resolving. And Kunle Idris appeared before that panel, and he was asked the question, were you given the right degree? He said no. What were you enrolled for? He said business administration. So he said it was a systemic failure. And by admittance, it meant everybody. And I'm making bold to say that the university too was wrong. And when I say the university was wrong, the officers mandated to carry out certain specific duties, either by way of omission or commission. Messed things
So
up.
the thing is this.
But we're finding a way now.
It's a lasso thing.
Yeah, it's a lasso thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And it's being resolved.
Why is it taking so long?
Sir, the truth of the matter is that there is a Senate, a body that is recognized by law of Lagos State University. It was that body that requested an investigation, and it is that body that must sit down to consider the findings of that panel and make a pronouncement.
The body is going to take it, sorry, Nyota, it's going to take its own sweet time it's not like as if it's in a hurry to ensure that, this is over and done with, so that this is not even misread as, trying to victimize the chairman of a labor union in your university. You do not see the implications of that?
You're very correct. However, that particular panel's report was supposed to have been taken on the 26th of February. The unfortunate thing was that the chairman of that panel, who incidentally is the Dean Faculty of Social Sciences and a statutory member of Senate, and every other member of the panel were absent at Senate. And he never at any point in time asked anybody to stand in for him. So, Senate in its wisdom decided that the paper be stepped down for the next statutory meeting. Unfortunately enough, by 16th of March, everybody had gone out protesting one thing or the other, and since then, the Senate of the university has not been able to meet.